Shalom. All praises go to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rawah, Kodash, Dabalan, the Son of the Apostles, that great millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. Shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. Now, this is the book of Malachi, chapter 4, because I was having a conversation with a person from England, debating and stuff like that. And he said that Yahushua he can never be the son of the Most High. It says, and he was trying to break down the word begotten, begotten, his only begotten son, especially of a man, bring a child into existence by the process of reproduction. Because he was hammering on this one, but he doesn't understand the spirit, because, of course he doesn't, but yeah. It shows right here. Let me see. Where did I put that actually? Was it Sarah or? Let me see. Sarah and only begotten. Oh yeah. So it says right here. Sirach, 2 Esther chapter 6 verse 58. But we thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thine only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands. So we are the fervent lover of Yahweh Bashem. Sorry, that too, but we are the only begotten, because it's not talking about as how he says it in the flesh, because he was hammering in on the flesh. Of course, I explained to him, but hey, I just thought to myself, let me make a video about this, because it's also going into the thing of Yahushua, because the same thing with Elijah. Now it says right here, Malachi chapter 4 verse 5, Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. Because we're going to go toward our ancestors, being the sons of our ancestors. We're going to look toward them and follow the path that they took, which is the following of Yahweh. But we will follow Yahushua, because that's, the New Testament and stuff like that. But yeah. So now going on to over here, so it says that Elijah would come back, right? So my point of this video is to show you that Elijah had a father and a mother, right? Elijah had a father and a mother, an individual father and an individual mother. But when he came back as John the Baptist, who is to say that he had that? No, sorry, let me say it better. I don't know who they were in the spirit, but I will know that in the physical form, they didn't look anything as how his, how the parents looked when they gave birth to him as an individual person in the flesh. Because it is the spirit that came in another body. That's the point. So, let me see, Matthew 11 verse 11. But I say unto you, among them that are born of women, they had not risen a greater than John the Baptist. Notwithstanding, he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. Those were the Edomites that did that to us. And it trickles down to the heathen nations, according to the book of Jeremiah 25 and 14. For example, so it says right here, Jeremiah 25:14, for many nations and great kings shall serve themselves of them also in slavery, and they feeding off of us. For example, until this day, you got Moabites and Chinese people, and you got Arabians and these Indians. You got them in our neighborhoods making money off of us. They serve themselves off of us also. And for example, these what? 3 times. Jewelers. Okay, 4 times. Oh, damn. I can't even pronounce that word. Jewelers. Yeah, I think it's jewelers. Yeah, whatever. That thing. They also do it for the so-called rappers of our people, because they making money off of them. I don't have to show that. And I will recompense them according to their deeds and according to the works of their own hands. So they're gonna pay for what they did. And here it shows you that, notwithstanding, he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. So what was John the Baptist able to do? John the Baptist was able to have infinite food. What is it, 17 or 7? Yeah, here. And then you had the other one. He had many other things too, like he could wake up the dead. He could split the sea, the water in half, just like how he dry ground. How they went on dry ground, which is in 2 Kings. 2 Kings 2 and 8. And Elijah took his mantle and wrapped it together and smote the waters, and they were divided hither and thither, so that they went over on dry ground. So he made it dry at the same time too, just like Moses. So he had that type of power, right? He had that type of power. And then you had what did he have more? Oh yeah, Elijah woke up. He woke up the dead child. 2 Kings chapter 8. I think it's here, yeah. Verse 19. And Yahweh would not. No. It's actually 17, I think. What is it again? Elijah. Yeah, it is here. And Elisha did it too. Elisha did it too in 2 Kings chapter 4, and Elijah did it in 1 Kings chapter 17. So here you have that. So these are the type of powers that Elijah had. And the least in the kingdom of heaven are going to be able to do these things too. For example, Matthew chapter, who are the least in the kingdom of heaven? Matthew chapter 5 verse 17. No, I started 19. I'll just go to the point. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so. The teachers, the false teachers, oh, you can eat pork, you can do this, you can do that. Oh, it doesn't matter, you could just commit adultery, stuff like that, because we're all going to be forgiven anyway, or as she wanted it. He can't take care of him, what? He can't take care of his wife and stuff like that. She needs a real man. You have people that teach that, So certain people teach you could, like this guy, I forgot, I don't know his name, but I made a video about him a while ago, where he was giving pork to his followers. That's crazy. And shrimp and lobster. That's what they was eating on the Passover too. He shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven, but whosoever shall do the laws and teach the laws, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. So, who is going to be called least? The ones that don't keep the commandment, and especially the ones that teach other men, not to keep the commandments. Those are going to be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But that least is still Matthew 11:11. Verily I say unto you, among them that are born of women had not risen a greater than John the Baptist. Notwithstanding, he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. And who is John the Baptist? Let me read that real quick. Verse 12. And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. This shows you that it was not talking about when Satan fell, how Esau teaches that Satan fell from heaven. And he teaches this. This picture, yeah. Satan falls from heaven. He did have it right. He got it right here. It's him. But yeah, he teaches that when Satan fell from heaven, he got kicked out of heaven or whatever, and then he started to do a lot of things upon the ground that, according to them, then would be a couple of thousand years ago. Well, that's not what it's talking about here. It's talking about in the time of the Romans. The Romans. It happened in the Greeks too. So the Greek time too. So actually, if you just check out to history, we went through a lot of madness. But around the Greeks and the Romans, that was the worst. Because there is where we started to lose our heritage. And then here in this day and age, we call ourselves after a color. So, and we suffer violence, no matter where you all are in the world. So, it's as if for all the prophets and the law prophesied until John, and if you will receive it, this is Elijah, which was for to come. So he is Elijah, and what type of power did Elijah have? And then therefore, the least in the kingdom of heaven, what type of powers will they have? Because it says also the most feeble of us will be like King David. So you can already imagine, like, man, it's not even going to be, I don't care about that, but I'm just going to say it just for edification's sake. It's not even going to be fair. But then again, they don't fight fair neither. Is this a fair fight? Do you think that this is a fair fight? This is not a fair fight. This is not a fair fight. Dropping bombs. This is not a fair fight. One Edomite can kill more than he can kill a bunch of 100,000 people. He can kill millions, actually. One Edomite. So they surpassed us with the physical form killing. For now. One Edomite, he can kill million. If millions of people are here, they're dead. They're gonna be dead. He can do that. One Edomite can kill millions with his little machines, because he got his spiritual power, but on the left side with the machines and stuff like that. That's why he loves cyberpunk movies and cartoons. I look at these movies and I am disgusted with these movies. It's just really, really filthy. The things that they do, like, hey, everything they just, hey, it's crazy, man. It's disgusting. But this is the fantasy of Esau. Hey, I didn't even notice that I have this thing here. This is the fantasy of Esau. This is his desire. It's crazy. This is how he imagines the world. Atoma movie, and then you see the city. You see, this is what he wants for the future. This is his future. This is how he sees the world. This one. This is how he sees the world. This is how he projects the world. Empty, barren. People are augmenting themselves. Augmentations. Here. Augmentations is where they chop off body parts or lose them and then put these things. Hey, this is some devil shit, bro. But this is Esau's future. This is what he wants to do. This is what he wants to create. When you look at cyberpunk movies or cartoons, that's what Esau wants to do. He wants to have these type of things, in his hand and stuff, man. That thing look disgusting as shit, but this is what he wants, man. This is what he wants for, especially for people, because he has other plans for himself, which is not gonna come to fruition, but still, fruition, fancy word. BBC. Really? Wait. Yeah, this is what he wants for himself. He wants for himself to be 2 feet tall, or sorry, 7 feet tall, because it says right here. But in the nearer future, humans will evolve in 1,000 years into giants between 6 feet and 7 feet tall, he predicts, while lifespans will have exceeded to 120 years. These are the things that he's planning for himself, which is not going to happen. But he's going to enjoy his... Oh, no. So let me say it better. He's going to set up his table for that meal. He's going to... about to eat it. Meaning he's going to have his plans right in front of him. And he says right here, let me read this real quick for you. Humanity may split into two subspecies in 100,000 years. He's not talking about 100,000 years, and he's not going to make it that long. He's talking about now, because you don't see this anymore. Esau has been busy with these things. Designer babies, what happened to them? Yeah, what happened to the designer babies? Because there was here. Where is that? I saw it. Designer babies. You can create world's first gene edited baby, or edited whatever. More likely to die young. Yeah, whatever. That's what they're telling you. But they have their little things that they do behind the scenes, like I showed you, the cyberpunk type of thing. Those are the things that they're doing, which is, designer babies. I'll leave a few links in the description box so you can check it out for yourself. So it says right here, as time predicted by H.G. Wells, an expert has said, evolutionary theorist Oliver Curie of the London School of Economics expect a genetic upper class and a dim-witted underclass to emerge. Why? Because they're going to give you food to dumb you down. Food makes you stupid. Food can actually make you smart too. Here. Herbs that actually enhance your intelligence. Ginkgo, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I know it. Ashwagandha, turmeric. They actually help you, especially if you give children when they're young. Then you give them little, it will develop their brain a little bit better. And I know that elephants, they eat a certain plant to make them, and therefore, that's one of the reasons, by the way, because they eat it continually their whole life long. So, and that plant, it will actually make you remember a lot. It will make you remember more. Yeah. Esau been following them around, and he sees them eating their thing often. And of course, if you check out that name, I forgot the name of it, but I think it's something. Not I think, but it's something like this one, which can make you memorize very good. This one too. And you have other food that increases estrogen, libido, all these things. All these things you could put in the food. Foods that dumb you down. GMO, because it will destroy your brain cells. Foods that dumb you down. Pizza, because they put stuff in. Look, pizza is just dough and some meat upon it, but he puts ingredients in there, and those ingredients will actually lower your IQ, because he does that on purpose. You have food that can make you happy, food that can make you angry, all these things. It could make you aggressive. For example, foods with a lot of testosterone, like herbs, for example. But he puts stuff in the food, and it can dumb you down. It will dumb you down eventually, especially if you go out generation after generation. So yeah, the food can alter your mind. Music can do it too. But let me go on. So the human race that's how he's gonna make you dumb. The human race would peak in the year 3000. You're not gonna get that far. He said, before a decline due to the dependence on technology, because that is where he wants to go, and because he wants to take the technology from the people and then keep it for himself. People would become choosier about their sexual partners, causing humanity to divide into subspecies, he added. But yeah, let me just glance over this one here. Physical appearance, driven by indicators of health, youth, and fertility, will improve, he says. While men will exhibit symmetrical facial features, look athletic, and have square jaws, deeper voices, and this is what he wanted for centuries. A bigger peepee. Still can't satisfy his he wants children, man. The hell. But anyway, so that's what he wants to do. This is Esau's mindset toward the future. And our people, the majority of them, they want to have that slave mentality. He's going to make you a slave. He's going to make you a small goblin look-alike creature. And he did it in a movie. He put it in this movie. These type of creatures. And then his utopia was, let me see, the time machine. You have two versions of this movie. Yeah, this one is that time machine. This one is the 70s. And then you have these blonde children here. All of them. That's their utopia. Not this one. These are the little ghouls that he's going to create by giving you dumbed down food and making you into a beast. Because he can do that. But shit, this is what I'm looking for a scene. The Time Machine movie. This one. But yeah, this one what I'm looking for. This is basically what he wants to create in the future for himself. These looking like this. And then you have these people here. These will be the other people. In the movie, oh, what's the other movie name? This is the new one, by the way. This is the one of 2002. I like the one of 1990 or 1970 more because he shows you more of that racism. Because in this movie, he puts interracial things and stuff like that. But in this movie, it's pure them. No, this is the new one. Sorry. But in this movie, it's pure them. But anyway. Shit, I forgot what I wanted to say, man. Damn it. Oh, yeah. You see in the movie called... How you call that movie again? Damn. And Demolition Man had it. Where they were living underground and eating rat burgers. Or did I mix two movies? You had Demolition Man. They definitely were living underground. And... the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Which is Total Recall. Yeah, Total Recall. The underground scene. Underground city, actually. Yeah, I think this is it. The underground city. And then you had the other one, which was... I just said it. Total Recall and... Demolition Man, Underground City. You had that there too. There was also under the underground, like this guy. They were underground, and these are the meals that Esau has in the future for himself. And here, they was eating rat burgers. And I think this one, yeah, see? I still remember that shit. But I need to go watch this movie again. But anyway, you had them rat burgers, and he was eating, and he was nodding his head like, tastes good. So they normalized that. In India, you'd be put to death. Also if you eat cow. But anyway, let me go back to the scripture. Sorry about all that. But that's the mentality that Esau has. Meanwhile, our people want to be servants. He wants to be a ruler with you as slaves. But you have Jacob descendants talking about, what kind of wickedness is that? We gonna be in the kingdom and have slaves. That don't even sound right. Okay, cool. He's in his kingdom right now. In his kingdom, you're gonna be a slave. In our kingdom, he's going to be a servant. He's going to be a slave. Sorry, I wanted to say slave. But anyway, let me go back. So, Matthew chapter 4, verse 14. And if you will receive it, this is Elijah, which was for to come. So, what type of powers did Elijah have? 1 Kings chapter 17, verse 1. I'll just glance over it. Before whom I stand, before the Heavenly Father, of course, there shall not be dew nor rain these years. So he could stop it he could stop the rain. He could stop the rain from coming. Stop making rain. Something like that. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't know how to say it good, but anyway, so it says here, 1 Kings chapter 18 verse 1, and it came to pass after many days that the word of Yahweh came to Elijah in the 3rd year, saying, Go, show thyself unto Ahab, and I will send rain upon the earth. So 3 years have passed from chapter 17 to chapter 18. So what more did he do in chapter 17? What more were the blessings of him? So what type of power did he have? And therefore, what type of power will the least in the kingdom have? Well, he had infinite bread and infinite water. For example, here, 1 Kings chapter 17 verse. Okay, he had the bread there. And then here, let me see. Okay, so it says right here. 12. And she said, As Yahweh thy power liveth, I have not a cake, but a handful of meal, which is basically a dough, in a barrel, and a little oil in a cruse, which is a little bottle. A kind of a bottle, you could say. You can look it up if you have the time, because it shows you right here. Cruse, oil, ancient. They call it a crude now, actually. Cruse. This one. Or this one. This one. Right, a little cruse of oil. That's what she had. And behold, I gathered 2 sticks, that I may go in and dress it for me and my son, that we may eat it and die. See, she was already prepared to die from the famine, which is the famine that he brought, because he stopped the rain from coming. Anyway, and Elijah said unto her, Fear not, go and do as thou hast said, but make me thereof a little cake first, and bring it unto me, and after make for thee and for thy son. For thus saith Yahweh the power of Israel, the barrel of meal shall not waste. So it's not going to go away. You know, it's not going to be. No, that's not what it done. That's not what it says. Nope, that's also not what it says. Wow, the translation is garbage. That's why I can't say the word, because I don't know it. For example, check this out here. For example, right? If you keep on using a sugar, wait, sorry. Okay, if you keep on using this thing, what is going to end up? Let's say 10 of these are in here, right? Well, if you eat one every day, that's 10 days, right? And after that, there's nothing there anymore. That's what I mean. So with Elijah, the blessing, the powers that Elijah had, this thing would never cease to stop. It would always continue. So you can take millions out of it. It will still. It's like almost like magic, but it's spiritual power. I have to say that, not have to, but I'll say that word just to make you, kind of think, even though we're not busy with magic or something like that. But yeah, this would never cease to exist. Never cease. It will always be given and given and given. You can feed 50 million people if you want, if they're there, you can continue. It's just infinite. That's the point. Infinite. So the barrel of meal shall not waste, neither shall the cruse of oil fail, because she can make bread, unleavened bread, continually, because the meal is talking about the flour or dough, until the day that Yahweh sendeth rain upon the earth. So how long did he keep that going on? For 3 years. He kept it for 3 years going on, infinite food. And then here, for example, let's say there's an empty river, right? And then Elijah used his power. For example, he could fill this here by having a glass, this thing which you see right, well, you don't, that thing, and then he continually throws, tips it over, And it continually falls out of it. It continually falls out of it. And then he could fill this up within the span of a few days. But yeah, 3 years. Yeah, this whole city would sink. You know, he can fill this river up to here in 3 years if he just tilt it and then it keeps on showering. You know what I mean. I don't know how to say it, but anyway, I hope you know what I mean. So you could just fill this thing up with the power that he had. So that's my point is to show you that the least in the kingdom of heaven is going to have that power. Not that I'm focusing on them. I actually wanted to have another point with that example. But anyway, these are the type of powers that he had. So he had infinite food. He could make infinite food with the blessing through the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahshai. So that's that part. And he did that for 3 years. And here so. And let me see. And he can make a child come back to life after death. So he can wake up the dead to the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, by the way. And the least of the kingdom shall be, having his type of power. So you can only imagine. I can't even say imagine. I should say fantasize about what type of power that the great ones will have that do teach the people the truth and stuff like that, and do teach the law. Doesn't that motivate you to want to teach the laws of Yahweh Bashem Yahshai? And of course the truth, just the truth, Doesn't that motivate you more? You're going to be greater than John the Baptist. So yeah. So my point of all that is to show you that that spirit of Elijah came actually in the physical form as a baby through two other people other than his father and his mother, in that physical form, in their flesh, as they looked at that time. Let's say, for example, right? What? I didn't even. Okay, anyway. So, okay. It is Esau. How Esau is born. Okay, let's say, for example, okay. Let's say this is Elijah's mother and this is Elijah's father. And this is Elijah. And they look like this, right? And then in his other life, as John the Baptist, he came as this, which I think is the same people, but yeah. Ooh. Like this one. You can see that they from West Africa because I can see the faces. Right, but yeah, this one too, West Africa, yeah, look like them. But anyway, so for example, then now they look like this, and then still he is born like that, and he doesn't even look like himself no more. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't, I don't know. The point is that he had two different people, probably with two different names, most likely. Even though we had often the same names, Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5. Before I formed thee in the belly I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb I sanctified thee, and ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. This is the scripture that I use to show people like you're killing, because they say like, oh, that thing is that they call it a thing. They say it is not alive. They say the child is not alive. It's not a child yet, but still is a living being. That's the point. It's something, because the semen is already something swimming toward the womb. And then when the child conceived, and the Most High put the spirit up in there. But still, he knows you before you are even conceived in the womb. Before you are formed in the womb, the Heavenly Father knows you. So let me go on. So now is the point. Yahushua is the same thing, the same way. Because Luke chapter 1 verse 31, I'll go straight to the point. And behold, thou shalt conceive in thy womb. What shall she conceive? That spirit that the Most High knoweth before he formed them in the womb. He knows that spirit already. So, and bring forth a son, and shall call his name Yahushai. He shall be great, and he shall be called the Son of the Most, the Highest, the Most High. And Yahweh, the power, shall give unto him the throne of his father David. Did you get that? Who is this man? He shall get the throne of David? What? Wait a minute. So Yahweh Shai is going to get the throne of his father David. Did you get that? So that's funny. Right, so it says right here. Psalms 110, verse 1. Yahweh said unto my Lord, so King David is talking. Yahweh said unto my Lord. Who is his Lord? Solomon. Sit thou at my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool. Hebrews chapter 1 verse 5. For unto which of the angels said the heavenly Father at any time, Thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. Again, I will be to him a father, and he shall be to me a son. Who did he say that? To the angels. He didn't say it to none of the angels. But he said it to one man upon the planet Earth. Which is 1 Samuel chapter 17, if I'm correct. Maybe it was 14. Second Samuel 17 and 14. 2 Samuel chapter 17 verse 13. He shall build an house for my name. 1 Kings chapter 5, 6, 7, and 8, and 9. King Solomon did that. And I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. He died. So is it forever? Whatever. What forever? It's talking about Yahweh Shai. But anyway, so it says right here, I will be his father, and he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men, and with the stripes of the children of men. Which King Solomon never got, because he passed away. He got it when he was Yahweh Shai. But yeah. So again, as an example, the spirit is put in another body. And therefore, he is the Son of the Most High, because it is the spirit of the first begotten, the only one that was with the Most High in the beginning, which is Yahweh Shai. And then, he made the rest, angels and all that type of stuff. So yeah, he is the only begotten through the spirit coming into the body. So he is that. Yahweh Shai is the only begotten, and we are the only begotten also to the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Because the Israelites are the sons of the Most High, right? And the Most High saith, Isaiah 31 and 3, Now the Egyptians are men and not Yahweh, not power. And their horses flesh, which nowadays their horses are vehicles and stuff like that. And not spirit. When Yahweh shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is holpen shall fall down, and they all shall fail together. So they're not gonna try. They're gonna get together, yeah, but it's still gonna fall. John 4:24, Yahweh is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Right? And people don't get this. Like, he doesn't have a physical body. He does have a body, but he's a spirit. But he has clothing on. I can't even explain it, because unless he makes me understand it, I kind of understand it. But no, I don't. Actually, no, I don't. I think I do. Let me do it. Because of Daniel 7. And because of Revelation 4, it says that he has hair. It says that he has a skin color. It says that in the Revelation 4, verse 1 until verse 3, it says that he had hair like wool in Daniel chapter 7, verse 9. And he got the good hair. That's what he said. Because Yahweh Shai said, there's none good but the Father. So, if the Father has woolly hair like a sheep, what's good hair then? Anyway, so with that, I'm going to say shalom. And Yeah, that's it. I made it longer than I actually wanted, but the point, I hope the point is still out there, which is he is the Son of the Most High, because just like how Elijah is John the Baptist, and he has no relations toward, well, actually, we are of one nation, but I mean in the physical form, because those people don't look like his parents. In the spirit, it might be, I don't know, but the point is still there. You can still use this as John the Baptist was birthed by people that, in the physical form, were not his parents that he had in those physical form. I'm not talking about the spirit because I don't know about that one. I do know about the physical form. They had different names. They look different, you know. So yeah, same thing with Yahushai. The spirit of the angel Yahushai was in that body that came through, which is still the bloodline of David. So that's crazy. Both of them, by the way, but it still came through a human seed, and it went into the womb of that woman. Not that woman, but I lost her name. Mary came into the woman Mary, right? So yeah, there you have it. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom.